topic.
Yes.
Are the Ben 10 is the 21st century gigolos? How do we identify them? Welcome, Judy.
Thank you.
So, what do you know about Ben 10s?
What do I know about Ben 10s? So, let's talk about Ben 10s and gigolos.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ben 10s, that's a word that was coined in South Africa. The gigolos, that is a word that was coined in the United States.
The American gigolo.
The American gigolo.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, according to what I've seen, according to the definition in South Africa, the Ben 10s in South Africa, they have to be less than 30. They are young men who are looking for older women who are established. And the Ben 10s will hunt these women down. They will do some serious research on them, and they want financial stability. So really, that's really all I know about them. Could you break it down for us?
Did you ever watch that movie, American Gigolo?
American Gigolo. I did after we had a discussion. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Ben 10s are a revolutionary people. Like what is happening. We used to hear about American Gigolo. Those people who lived in different cultures. That thing was unheard of. The culture has its own way of doing it.
Okay.
For many years, we have been used to where an old man dates a young girl.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to appear that it's wrong. But when it is the other way around, that an old man is with an old woman is with a young man, there will be eyebrows about it. But it's a new normal, and this has been caused by more professional women, successful women who take more time for their careers. And when they are old, they are a little bit older age when they want to get married. Probably when they go back to the field, they find that the men who are supposed to be their age are already married and busy with raising families.
Okay.
Now then there becomes a challenge, and you want to get married, and probably the people who are on the market are a little bit younger. So that can result where we are seeing more where there is a age gap difference of where older women are married to younger women.
I agree with you on so many levels. And one thing I'd ask you though, even it doesn't matter. Sometimes I think marriage gives people a certain comfort. So you can have somebody who gets married at maybe age 24, right?
Yeah.
They get married and they get comfortable. And, when they were going to bed, they used to make their hair and wear like fancy headscarves. Now, when they get married, they have 4 or 5 kids. They show up in the bedroom with a stocking. A stocking, yeah. And then you're like, oh, okay. So anyway, my question is, age. How do we define who is a gigolo? And then who is because let me let you just expound on that.
Well, the portrayal of the American gigolo was actually like young men who were having affairs with older women for money. That the older women were paying them money for comfort.
What is comfort? Are you talking about for sex?
Yes, kind of like that.
No. You know what? Sometimes we have to call it out by name.
Yeah. But then because most of them that's how it was portrayed like from the movie. But it has become generally that, and we have had now from there. Some young men were inspired that they can make money from older women. So, and I think that's where the Ben 10 came from. I think there was this Ben 10 movies like some aliens coming from space. So I think the Ben 10 is like it's a boogeyman, like
a boogeyman coming on to take
coming on
on
like
the
an
world
alien.
and save this.
To save. Are you seeing where it came from?
I see where that is coming from. You know, I mean, I didn't know that. And you know, there's always a genesis of everything.
Yeah, there's a genesis of everything.
Genesis of
So
everything.
so what is happening? You know, that time when we were talking about the American gigolo, some of the countries when America was already developed and they were having these older women, either who are widowed or who are divorced, and now to go to the market it was hard, and they needed to live life.
To go to the market,
to the marriage market, you know, you don't need to question everything. There are some things you need to figure yourself.
Here, my mind is very, you know, maybe I'm really abstract. So to go to the market, like.
But now, why the Ben 10s have become more especially in developing countries.
Yes.
Like South Africa, how it came about. Many young men who go to school and they are unemployed, they don't have income.
Yes.
Now they started targeting women who are accomplished, who professionally accomplished, they have money. So to them, they target these people. They target these women because they know sometimes one of the things you would have to identify with the gigolo, they are very smart people because they do a research either through social media about a lady, and that's why ladies, you know, like most of ladies, they try to vent their anger. If they are broken from a relationship, they put it on Facebook. So then such people become a target for the Ben 10s. So they will go through your social media, they will befriend you on social media, they will know exactly what you are going through, what you are doing. You know, like you put all your things that you were in New York shopping, you were here shopping, so they know this lady has money. So they will befriend you, and they understand that you are going through these challenges. So when they come, they already have your history. They already know what you are net worthy and many other things. And now they would come and entice you. You know, they will come and overpraise you. They talk good words that a lady does not hear quite often.
Then good words that a lady does not. What are they saying?
Yeah,
what are they saying? These good words.
And you should not be the person to ask. You should be the person to tell us about those good words, because you are a lady. You know what you want to hear.
You know what I want to hear? I want to hear. Oh. You are so cute. You better. You cuter than Beyonce.
Exactly.
Things like that.
And let me tell you. And you know, like, even some of the women would be married. You know, when people get married, those words a man used to tell you, once he has conquered you and you are at home, he doesn't have to. They don't talk those good words. Now the Ben 10 will come and tell you how beautiful you are, how things you are, and then you say, I've never heard those words for a long time. They come. So those are the characteristics of Ben 10s. So they talk good.
So characteristics of Ben 10s. You know what? I mean, they will pamper you. They'll tell you the sweet things. They'll tell you, you know, you have to you're perfect. You know, you're amazing. What else do they offer?
Then they will now, once they have done a research for you.
So they will actually do a background check on you.
Yeah, and that's. They will know much about you. So when they come, they already know. And then you can easily fall into them, because it's not that they are not getting you on the market. They would have to entice you. They will talk good things of you. They would, you see, like, okay, this is an example. A lady posted, oh, tomorrow I will be going to this restaurant to have fun, what. And then what did the Ben 10 do?
Mm.
He showed up there. And this is what...
Ben 10.
He asked a friend to drop him. And strategically, he was driving here, knowing exactly, following as the ladies are lighting to go, also was dropped there. And then he said, okay. Then when they went away with a big car, hey, madam, how are you? Then he would say, oh, you look nice. You know, that's how. And already, this lady was already hooked because he was driving, dropped with a Prado. Oh, that's my driver, I said.
You mean there was a Prado involved?
It's a friend's Prado. Then now a friend has become a driver. You know, I had to send my driver somewhere to do some errand for me.
Oh no! So
And then he was hooked.
And then she was hooked. So at the end of the day, you know, these are people, and this is so. I'm gonna reiterate everything that you said. These are very smart people. These Ben 10s, the gigolos, they are amazingly smart people.
Yeah.
Okay. They you know, they're very good in sex, right? They have a lot of stamina.
Well, no, yeah, not that they are good, but I would think because they are young, youthfulness. You know, there is so many men when they have gone through a career and so many things, they are already beaten up.
Beaten up? What do you mean? Please explain it.
Energy-wise, they are beaten up. The Ben 10s are young people, so.
Okay. No, but a Ben 10. So according to you. Because a Ben 10, according to the South African definition, where that was coined from, a Ben 10 is less than 30.
Yeah, which means he's energetic, he has stamina that an old man who is 50 would not have. Okay. Definitely. Okay. You know, yeah, they might have stamina, but they lack experience too. And which I think they would heavily benefit from an older woman.
Okay.
So I would think, okay, they would be, yeah, they are a professional now on that, because if that is what they do, and with the youthfulness and even the appearance, they look handsome, not like an old man who has been wrinkled. Of course, they have advantage on that. But then, this is what they are. What majorly they are targeting, they are professional liars. You see now, as I told you that example, he was dropped by a friend who he turned to be a driver he has sent somewhere. So then after that, now with the praises, he was saying, oh, you can come and sit with me. So they had lunch. He got free lunch. You know, he didn't come to eat, he didn't have money, but now he has gotten a friend. And then finally he said, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to call my driver, is not coming back. You know, the friend who dropped him? Would you mind, I don't, you know, that now they have a conversation, they have everything. So they are professional liars. They will not tell you where they live. And once they are out from you, they don't answer your call easily. Probably they have 1 or 3 numbers because maybe they are dealing with many other women. So those are some of the things you can really identify that these are Ben 10s.
So they have multiple numbers. They don't answer calls. They don't answer calls, yeah. They have a few cell phones.
Yeah, at times, and this is how some of them behave. They will come to you and they say, now when they, you know, once they are booked, like they come to these people, of course, you know, you have to live life. So they are very interesting when they are around you. They make a slave. They make you a slave. Say, honey, you know, my phone got, like when they didn't answer the phone, he will show up and say, you know, I had to come here because somebody stole my phone. Yeah, I wish if you can buy me a phone, if I'm not asking too much. Then you buy him a phone and a line. He will have a special line for you. So once he finishes with you, he puts it off. And he's having a cell phone of another older woman somewhere. So they are liars.
They are liars. So here, now, now that we've spoken about, you know, these Ben 10s and who they are, how women should watch out for, you know, all this. I mean, do we have, I mean, the word that you said earlier, or, you know, they would target cougars.
Yeah, just in the cougars. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all our women are cougars, like they target, and now we are having. They are on the loose. There are so many. Because
What do you mean?
I mean the Ben 10s.
The Ben 10s are many.
Yeah. Because now they have found it's becoming a recruit business, because when they go with it, it's
hey guys,
older ladies.
Yeah. Hey.
They need.
Listen to Dr. Omandi. He's gonna. Yeah.
Those are some of the issues. That is what is happening. So we are going to see a lot of them, and let us not talk that the Ben 10s are as if they are. We don't want to talk as if they are bad people. If we have to say the Ben 10, the greatest Ben 10 we have is the French president, Macron.
No,
Macron is
hooked him.
It was hooked to a lady who was 34 years when he was 15, and he ended up marrying Bridget. Yeah, and they are living happily
ever after. So, you know, for those people who are feeling a little low with this talk, we are saying there's Bridget, Macron.
Yeah.
And they're living happily ever after. So 15, 34, that is a serious age.
So, and then now, it is more of a matter of culture and some unconventional wisdom. But the history, you know, is all filled by, as I told you, with where an older man as a gate pass to marry a younger lady, but not the other way around.
So, you know, I always say, just so that we keep you guys hooked and make sure, you know what, we come back and discuss some of these cases. I mean, we are looking for people who are actually married and happily married to older women and older men and vice versa, and they find that those relationships very satisfactory to them. So, yeah.
But then, you know, the reason why we are having, as I told you, the funny thing is a man and a woman appear to be different, because a woman has a biological clock, which is set, and a man does not have a biological clock.
So we're talking about the ability to actually sire babies,
exactly,
because the eggs are rotting.
No, you have a period of a productive period is limited. When you know, a woman can get a love of her life at the age of 70, but can he sire at the age of 70? Let us be. You are a doctor. You can tell us if that's possible.
You know what? Of course not. But one thing I tell you is there are so many myths out there, and that's something that I want to decipher for the public. And the reason I say that is we look at so many hormones that could affect fertility. So we're talking about like follicle stimulating hormones. You know, we're talking about are they still getting their period or not, or, you know, menstruating or not. So there's so many factors to it. And now, you know, we used to go to the hospitals and they'd say, you know, after the age of 35, oh my gosh, a woman should not have kids because they may have kids who are some impairments. But that's not the case anymore. Actually, there's research out there that says, you know, there are women who have had kids when they were younger, and there's more probability of those kids having impairments or some disabilities because of the age of the mother. So that is a debate that is now on the table.
That's okay, but naturally let us go with the natural process.
70, of course,
that by the age of, I mean,
Menopause.
you reach menopause, and that is around 50, maybe. I don't know. But now this is where you see a man can develop a career without getting married. He will hit it age of 40, 50.
Yes.
He can marry and get children. Even at the age of 100, he can still get a child. But not a woman. I mean, let us be realistically that nature has also is unfair.
Nature is unfair. And you know, sometimes we can't negate the fact that, you know what, at the end of the day, even a man at that age, I mean, how are they, you know, their physical presentation? Because now we know that actually women live longer than men.
Yeah.
And I mean, we are still trying to struggle with that phenomenon, especially in Africa, you know, in the African.
It's not even Africa now. It has become the whole world because we are actually changing. The thing is, we have this in a culture, age discriminant relationships. Cultures respond differently to age discriminant relationship. Now, you know, like where now, if for example, you meet a relatively young man with an old woman, you would scorn the woman. You are a woman and you would scorn the woman. Am I wrong? You will not.
So what you're saying is, you know what, there's a bias.
Yeah, there is.
There's a bias. I mean, I would not necessarily scorn the woman because.
But you would worry.
I don't know whether I'd worry. It's the same thing that I would ask you. You know, you have sons and daughters. So if your daughter, maybe if you had a 19-year-old daughter, he comes home and tells you, you know, I'm marrying this guy. He's 62. What are you gonna do?
I have to be frank. I would be shocked. Yeah, I will.
Not pass out or die, but
no.
be shocked, right?
But the thing is, I would allow the person, my daughter, to make a choice of.
At 19, would you?
Well, because that's his decision.
Okay. So how about your son? You know, comes and tells you, and so you know, I have watched the president of and I've decided, you know, that's the route that I'm going. So what would you do about it?
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but you know, the thing is, as we have said, you can give advice. It's not bad to give advice. You can talk against it because surely nature itself, as we say, you know, go even see ladies. If a lady and a boy are of the same age, mentally a lady develops 2 years ahead than a boy. And now the difficult thing, but I would have to talk to my son about so many things. It's more likely that they will develop a mother-son relationship because of the age difference. They might end up developing where a boy is not making any decision, the woman is making all the decision. And you would also talk about all things about the biological clock and other things for just to be aware, not to discourage, but to make a decision.
To make a decision. You know, I mean, I love this discussion. You know, Dr. Omandi, I think we have so much more to discuss. You know what? The biological clock, who makes the decisions, and
you know, these are topics many people don't want to talk about, but they talk it in low tones.
They talk it in, yeah, they talk it because you know what? I mean, there are women out there here. There are women out there who are built like men. There are women out there who cannot have kids. Doesn't matter the age.
Yeah.
They can try. They can go underground. They can totally seek the powers of whatever, but they can't have kids because some of the hormonal differences or some disease processes. But see, those are the things we need to address, and I'd say, you know what, very excited about that.
Yeah, and you know, like as I told you about, we have what we call mommy syndrome behaviors. Mommy syndrome behaviors is shown by these young men who, after being raised by their parents very well, and when they are left to go to the world out there, probably they are not able to cope up with a career. Now, if they get, they might be going to look for their mother. That's why some of them fall into love with a little bit much older women, because they are looking for their mother to take care of them.
To counter that, I would tell you a lot of women, when they're looking for a marriage partner, they're not looking for just any other person. Maybe they're looking for a father figure. They're looking for somebody who is authoritative, somebody who will actually be a replacement of their father, depending on how they were raised. So, you know what? It goes either way. So I think this is...
Yeah. That's a big topic which we can talk. And if we talk about how people make decisions on the spouses they take or the ladies they date, have you ever seen a person who dates an alcoholic? They reach a time, they separate, they go their own ways, and then marries an alcoholic. You wonder, are you under a curse? Have you realized that?
But you know what? That's the thing. And that's why I tell you, I think sometimes we need to look at into the mental health. We need to look at what's happening, like overall.
How things affect. Maybe those are topics for another time. But say, when we come home here, like where we live, also like people who migrate from other countries, there is a preponderance.
A preponderance, that's a heavy word. Can you break it down? Break it down.
Okay. There is a belief that when people come here, the ladies will come and work hard, you know, like trying to establish, after they have worked hard and they have established on the careers, when they want to get married, they might get people who are younger. And many people in the, more especially from the cultures, like like let's say like the Asian cultures, the African cultures. Now, when a professional woman like that now wants to get married, he gets a person who's a little bit younger. They might be in love, but then the community always gossips. It's good the community to leave
These
people alone. So then they will mean well, but then there is external pressure from outside.
There's external pressures from outside. And you know what? I mean, we see that a lot. We see it a lot. But, you know, do we apply the same to men? I mean, there's a lot of African men too, like who come to this country and they decide they want to marry somebody of a different culture. They want to marry a Caucasian lady. They want to marry, you know, somebody who's more voluptuous. Like, you know, they want to marry a 500-pounder. Who are we to actually judge? Because is it any different? Or are we more accepting of, you know, marrying out of cultures, or marrying from the same culture and, you know, marrying an older person? So, you know, I think this goes either way. And really what gets me is the judgment. It's like, here, we don't get it. We still don't get it.
Actually, let me tell you, I know you are young at the time you have stayed in this country. Among the communities, I have seen totally a great change, which you don't need to complain. When we came to this country, like if you are married to somebody from a different culture, like the way they did it was like a sin. It's like you have retros. It's like you are an outcast. And I have seen that change. Actually, people are more receptive. They never, let me tell you, and this is a practical example. A friend of mine those years was married to a person from a different culture and they had a child. So he was happy that he was celebrating a birthday. And he invited his friends. One of the friends, they said, "Which birthday are you calling me about?" "Yeah, that my son." He said, "That is no son. You finish from there and go get your children."
That is so sad.
That
breaks my
that
heart.
was years ago,
Yeah.
and I can tell you I've seen a transformation. Now people are not treated that way, and you know, every culture, even the white people also struggle. There are still some people who don't want mixed culture.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real, every place, but we don't want to go there. But in conclusion, we want to say that about the Ben 10s. That is, we should not discriminate people who are in a
Ben 10
relationship, what we call age gap relationship, discrepant, and we call it the discrepant. If they love one another, love can come anytime, so let them enjoy. But then you have to watch those who are taking advantage, because some of them are not real. They want to stay because they want a shelter. They have seen that you are successful, you are accomplished. Then they run away. It is always good to be cautious, not only for Ben 10s, even any person.
Any person. So yeah, the message of the day is, you know, watch out for leeches. Watch out for people who are trying to come into your life and they're not adding anything. All they want is to take.
Yeah, watch for that.